Social distance. Okay. Today I want to talk about social distancing. I don't know how you guys see it or view it or from which angle you all are looking at it. But in my opinion, social distancing has been planned a long time ago or have been in the making for a number of years now. But it's just being enforced. So, for a number of years, social distancing was being implemented voluntarily. Now, in recent time, it is something that has been enforced, and in my opinion, will be enforced even more so moving forward. Now, if you should look at it seriously, over a period of time or over a number of years, social distancing have been in the making. This is not new. It sounds new. It feels new because at the time you were practicing social distancing, it was being done voluntarily. So you think, or you was looking at it as if you was doing what you want to do. You feel comfortable doing it. It feels new now because it has been enforced now and will be enforced even more as the days go by. Does it has anything to do with what's going on now? Might be so, it might not be so. Because, as I said before, this has been in the making for a number of years. Probably so much so before a lot of us was born. Okay. Dating apps, where people download apps like Match.com and so many dating apps. All these apps promote social distancing. You don't have to go to a club, go to a bar, sit in the park, go to any games to meet an individual. Download an app, stay at home, and you go through many names, many faces, try to start a conversation with your type. So it is another stay-at-home app. Things that you will do naturally, organically, things that you will engage in the real world. Now you stay at home and try to engage artificially through a downloaded app. So look at all these dating sites and live sites where a lot of people are going live, where they say they are going live. You have Live Me, and you got maybe hundreds of them, if not thousands of them. All these sites that people say they go live on, all these dating sites. All these are social, are instruments of social distancing. It will be a hot summer day and there's no one on the street. in some countries. But these countries have 300 million people, 200 million people. So where is everyone? Everyone is inside. So what is keeping all these people inside? Social distancing from each other, when they should be out in the street interacting with each other. What is it that is keeping all these individuals in their homes? Social distancing, of course. But it was not a word that they used to describe their stay-at-home act at the time. Everyone felt as if they were just being another person involved in whatever activity they chooses. But at the same time, going in line or doing things against themselves without knowing it, because that's the whole end game. People involved in activities that they know nothing about, that they don't know the end result to. But for now, it acts as a placeholder until the end result is ready to be implemented. So, a lot of people find joy and pleasure in the Instagram, Facebook, everything else. You know, it's a Facebook. What is a book? You know, some people, I guess, want their life to be an open book. You hear people say things like that. My life is an open book, so I guess Facebook becomes necessary to post and describe your day-to-day activity. Some people is minute-to-minute activity. So I guess that's where life becomes an open book. But becomes an open book to who? To your friends, family, spouse. Who are your life becoming an open book to? System, of course. The individuals who created Facebook for that purpose. Your life becomes an open book to them. So they could have enough data on each individual. So they could use that data to make calculated decisions moving forward about humans. So if you want your life to become an open book, that is the end result of everyone's life being an open book or being on this Facebook. But anyway, it is just an instrument of what is now being implemented, social distancing. Look at it. If it wasn't for Instagram, Facebook, all these dating sites and live sites, and people say they're going live, social distancing could not be implemented. Social media, social distancing. Social media enable them to enforce social distancing. And it is as clear as day. If it wasn't for social media, it will be impossible to enforce social distancing. So the creators of social media had in their intentions to implement social distancing at some point in the future. And that is what is being implemented now. Social distancing everywhere and every media outlet. You hear these terms. Social distancing. And what does it mean? Distance yourself from each other. Right? We are humans. We naturally socialize with each other. Now they're trying to implement forcefully, lawfully, distancing each other's selves from each other. How much sense does that make? Living a life where people don't see each other anymore. People don't greet each other anymore. People don't hang out with each other anymore. People don't share ideas anymore. People don't share stories anymore. People become so dependent upon AI, artificial intelligence. People don't even ask each other questions anymore. Asking each other questions is a spark for a broader discussion. Now people ask Google question. Hey Google, hey Siri. What is that all about? Speaking to a lifeless entity that records your voice, records all your questions, build a character of you. So, you know the whole story. No? Instead of you asking someone around you the time or the date or what is going to be tomorrow, you're asking Siri, you're asking Google. So these people, like humans, all of us involved in such activities, are contributing to the downward spiral of humanity, contributing to a world where a lot of us will not be able to participate in. It's funny now, you feel as if you're being technological advanced because you like to do this thing. Hey Google, hey Siri, you like to act as if, I have the latest technology, I have the latest phone. You know not what it is that you're participating in. You're being caught in a net, as they call it, internet. Net is only used for one purpose, to catch stuff or to carry stuff, whatever it may be used for, but it is to contain whatever it is. And these people choose words carefully. Words were not made up by accident. Each word have a meaning, and the meaning that words have to you might not be the meaning that the creators intended to have. So whenever a word is made up, it means one thing to you and a different thing to the individual who made the word up. Back to social distancing. Social distancing means something to you because what it meant to you might be, I don't want to catch something from this person, so let me keep a distance. It might mean something totally different to the creators of this word. Remember, your friends did not create the word. Maybe the government in your country did not create the word. It has been passed down through a system that everyone uses. Now, these individuals that pass this word down through the system to the rest of the world might have something different in mind using this word. They might have something permanent in mind. They might have an agenda that they want to fulfill. So when you think of social distancing as, I don't want to catch something from someone, the creators of it have a different intention, and their intention is to permanently distance you from each other to the point where it becomes lawful. It becomes lawful where if you gather with each other, you break the law. If you're talking with each other, you break the law. Communicating with each other, you're breaking the law. And it has been around for a long time in a lot of countries, but it was just not lawful, because if 10 individuals should be standing on a street corner in some countries, the law will turn up at your feet asking you, what is the problem? Why are you standing here? Now you haven't broken the law. There's no violation of any sort. There's no civil unrest, nothing. You're just standing having a normal conversation, 10 friends together. But it seems threatening to certain people. So you see, from a long time, gathering was intimidating to the system, large gatherings. Because wherever there are large gatherings, there will be lots of law enforcement. Why? You have to have law enforcement at every large gathering. I mean, people could take care of themselves easily. People have disputes with each other, people work it out one way or the other. But you see what I'm trying to say. These people do not want gatherings. Not only now, but gathering was a problem for a long time. Keeping parties, all that is a problem. Coming together. It's divide and conquer, divide and rule. Each individual is more easily controlled and ruled, separated, because they have no one to give them ideas outside of what the system tell them. They have no one to discuss problems with. They have no one to share their current situation with. So if someone is having a headache, the first thing, Google what is good for headache. You don't ask your grandmother anymore. You don't ask your friend anymore. So Google know that you have 10 headaches for the year. They know that you have 15 backaches for the year. Now, in a real world, a real organic world, you would discuss all these issues with real people. Now people discuss their issues with artificial intelligence. Google is an artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence meaning that this is not a human being you're talking to. It's a device. But this device has the ability to make predictions and calculations based on what you're asking it. So you're engaging in this act of artificial intelligence, and this act therefore promotes social distancing, because there is no need for friends anymore. Whatever you're going to ask your friends, you ask Google, you ask Siri, you ask whosoever. So you have no needs to interact with anyone. So this is what I've been saying from a long time, tens of years or decades. All this what is being implemented now was being developed for this purpose. So a lot of people think that this is going to be temporary. No, it's not going to be temporary. You keep on hearing that the world is not going to be the same anymore. Why? Why is it not going to be the same anymore? Because it has been planned not to be the same anymore. Wearing of masks, in my opinion, will be lawful moving forward. You can't get out your house without having a mask on. And what is the purpose of the mask? Right? How long they tell you that this thing has been around? At one point, they tell you, okay, well, the mask is not necessary. Another time, they said only the ones who are sick should wear the mask. So many different situations involving mask. But it's all to come to one permanent situation, and is wearing your mask permanently. So they beat around the bush until they get to the point where they want to get to. which is you have to have your mask on permanently. Okay, what is the purpose of having your mask on permanently? A year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, what is the purpose of that? Now the mask promotes social distancing, because we're back to social distancing. Social distancing is what is being promoted. The mask promotes social distancing. You cannot speak properly through a mask. You cannot say hello to your friend properly through a mask. You don't even know if that is your friend, because from your nose and mouth is covered, your identity is hidden. So you don't care to say hello because you're not sure about the person you're saying hello to. You don't care to speak because you're in a hurry to get home to take your mask off. So the mask will be the number one thing that enforce, keep in place social distancing for a long time, until social distancing becomes, just regular, permanent, acceptable. Having a mask on means that less interaction. It's just natural. Having a mask on, less interaction, less talking with each other. So everything is to promote social distancing, the division of people, keep people away from each other, and get them dependent upon this artificial intelligence, this artificial system. So saying all of this is just to give each person, each individual, a little insight as to what is happening that you might not be aware of. Now, if we want to look at who is the beneficiary of social distancing, you could have a clearer picture as to why social distancing is being enforced. Look at who is benefiting from it. Look at what is being achieved from it. Then you will have a clearer understanding as to why social distancing is being enforced. Okay, let us look at who is benefiting. Obviously, the wider population is not benefiting from it for a number of reasons, but let us look at who is benefiting from social distancing by looking at what is being achieved through social distancing for the system. For a long time, years, the system has been trying to enforce certain things that the system saw as a problem. People don't see it as a problem, the system sees it as a problem. Keeping parties was a problem for the system. They try to close parties early. They try to get rid of the keeping of parties in as much areas as possible. Try to turn these parties off as early as possible. So you see that something the system wanted to get rid of gradually. Now it's been enforced. No more parties. The system trying to get people for a long time to stop I guess what they call it as illegal selling of goods on sidewalks in certain marketplaces and stuff like that. Social distancing caused them to fully enforce that. And a number of other things in other categories and areas. You could go on and get as deep as possible into it. But this is just on the surface that the average individual could see for themselves. If you're trying to sell something in the street, pushing a cart or set a little makeshift lemonade stand on the sidewalk, you will be harassed. Now they got all reason to harass you because you should not be outside. You are not essential. You are not regarded as being essential. So you have to stay on the inside. All because of social distancing. Less people to interact with each other. Now, who is the biggest loser? The population is the biggest loser. Closing of business, cancelling of tours by various entertainers, artists, you name it. Because no gathering mean no tours mean no money. All these people, a lot of these entertainers, they promote social distancing and they joke about it, but it's against their own interests. And they will only know that it's against their own interests if the system successfully put it into law. Then they will have a problem with it. But looking at the bigger picture and seeing who is the beneficiary and who is the loser, it's more easily understand why these people would so be readily willing to implement social distancing as being lawful. So this is just a little enlightenment to individuals who might not be seeing this from the angle from which I'm saying it. This is just an enlightenment for people to look into themselves, look into what's happening, dig a little deeper, search a little more, find a little more information. So things can make a little bit more sense to you. You want to know the reason for things happening. You don't want to just be accepting and moving along with stuff without having any idea, any clue of what it is that is happening around you. This is just a little enlightenment from the distraction, because as we all know it, 99% of the activities we engage in is to distract us. And distract us from what? Distract us from what is happening until the point where it is being implemented, where you can't do anything about it again. So look into everything before accepting anything, regardless if you find stuff necessary to look into or not. It doesn't hurt. Too much information is not enough information. So look into stuff. Try to find reason behind stuff. All what I'm saying might not be accurate to some individuals. That's not a problem. But it still should be able to spark just a little spark. A little spark can catch a fire. You need a spark. It will still able to create that spark that might lead to a bigger fire. That might lead to an investigation of everything. Now, by each person investigating situations for themselves, it's better. Knowledge is freedom. A lot of people are intimidated. A lot of people are scared because they have no knowledge of what's going on. Knowledge is freedom. So this is just an introduction, so someone could look into things for their own self, make things make sense. You know, you could look around your surrounding and say, okay, they want to do this for a long time. No, they could do it with ease. You know, stuff like that. Each person have a unique situation. Now it's for you to look into your situation and see how this affects your situation, if it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. But social distancing, in my opinion, is a long-term, or was being planned for a long time. It was in the making for a long time, and now it has been rolled out and being accepted by the sleeping population. And you don't want to wake up in a mask, people. Ask questions. Until next time, keep in search of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, overstanding. Thank you.